GM. Are we live?
GM, everyone, we are live. Okay, amazing. So, welcome everyone to a 10 out of 10 special edition call featuring Cookie. We have a lot of really exciting things to talk about. But before we begin, you might already know me by now from these 10 out of 10 calls, but I'm Liam from 10. I work on growth and partnerships here, and I've been one of the people behind this really exciting campaign from the start. So I'm super hyped for this call because we have a special guest. As you can see, we are joined by Anthony from the Cookie team. He's played a huge part in this shaping this whole campaign. So before I ramble too much, please go ahead, Anthony, and introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about what you do at Cookie.
Sure. So yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. My name is Antoni. I've been with Cookie for quite some time now. I think it's 2.5 years. And I'm responsible for managing the Snaps campaign. From the moment it launches till the moment the token gets distributed. So I'm working hand in hand with projects like 10, Almanac, Spark, and others to make sure that everything is okay. And I'm happy to talk about the Snaps campaign with 10.
Amazing. Yeah, thanks so much, Anthony. And welcome again, everyone. Today's call is really about helping you win. So helping you get rewarded as a content creator. We've seen you guys snapping all day, every day. And so this is really your chance to understand what makes a snap stand out, how we score them, and how things to do, things to not do. And we have a literal expert here to help with this, to give you the chance to ask any questions, and help you so that you can continue this campaign, because this is the final snap down. So there's still a lot of time to post and rise your ranks, but you might need some tips to really make your way up there. So before we really go into the snapping strategy, I know some people here have only recently discovered the 10 lore and are still learning about what we do and what our purpose is. So I'll just give you a little bit of an overview for some of the people who are newer. But to put it simply, 10 is the first encrypted execution layer on Ethereum. So what that really means is smart contracts on 10 don't run on the open like they do on most chains. They run in private. And the magic behind that is something called TEEs that I know a lot of you guys have been recently learning about, trusted execution environments, which is basically this secure hardware that lets you compute off-chain privately and still prove the output on-chain. So it's the same kind of tech used, to protect all kinds of sensitive transactions in banks and all over. So because of that, 10 unlocks all kinds of new use cases that literally aren't possible on other chains. Like poker is a great example. Some of you guys have been participating and playing on House of 10. Playing poker on chain without ever revealing your hand, or building a trading bot that can actually help keep the strategy hidden, having an AI agent that can take actions for you without leaking what it's doing, and all kinds of things like DAOs that can vote in secret, et cetera, et cetera. So this is what encrypted execution enables. But it's not just about privacy. 10 is designed for really smart, interactive applications, stuff that needs hidden states, memory, agents that can shift and evolve over time. There's so many layer 2s out there, right? And they're just sort of faster versions of Ethereum. But 10 is in a different category, as a lot of you guys are learning. It's a missing piece of what we really want, high stake apps to actually live fully on chain. And we've shipped these real products, like you've seen with House of 10, the first fully on-chain poker game where players enter with encrypted hands and no one can cheat it. It's strategic and trustless and actually really fun. And so, we have AI agents who can play against you with hidden logic. So unlike a lot of these other chains, 10 is not just faster and cheaper. It's a new design space for apps that couldn't even exist before. And that's why content creators like you guys really matter so much, because most people, let's be honest, don't get super excited by trusted execution environments. It just sounds like another layer of jargon, but poker and mystery strategies, secret agents, these kind of things That's the real hook, and that's where you guys come in, because you're not just, of course, talking about the tech is really valuable and important, but rather than just resharing announcements or farming posts, you guys are turning the core of what's building into something that people can actually feel, something that's fun and competitive. And when someone sees a snap about hidden moves or encrypted memes or AI agents, they don't just need a technical breakdown. They just get it, and that's the whole point. So this campaign with Kuki, it's not about forcing visibility necessarily for us. We really started this campaign, as you guys know, as a part of this whole final Snaptown for anyone who is now just getting involved in the campaign. I know there's some new people. I'll give you a quick summary, but as I mentioned, this all ties into the final Snapdown, which is the 5th and the final volume of our final chapter, our biggest content campaign before mainnet, and it's built on Kuki. So you can earn 10 for creating meaningful, interesting, smart, cool content about 10. And it launched recently on July 10th. There's a lot of rewards to be given out. A prize pool of 360K up for grabs to the top 1,000 snappers. And this call is about getting you into that 1,000 top snappers. So showing you the best way that you can post memes, videos, articles, personal takes. You can, if you've used Kuki before, or I'm sure a lot of you have, but some of you are maybe still getting familiar with it. But as you'll probably see, as this 10 out of 10 call goes on, you'll be able to see how the smart feed works and the leaderboard, how it updates in real time. But rather than me go too much into how Kuki itself works, we have an expert here who might be able to give you a better overview than me. So, Anthony, I'd love you now if you could take some time to maybe walk everyone through how Kuki is supporting this campaign, and or even more generally, how Kuki really works to evaluate creators.
Sure. Before I jump into it, I have a follow-up question to what you said about 10, because you mentioned like the user-facing use cases, right? With, for example, a game of poker. Is there an enterprise use case as well that you are exploring as a blockchain?
Yeah, definitely. And for some of you guys who are still new to 10, you might not be so familiar with our team, but a lot of our team the core team come from R3 Corda, which is, one of the biggest, you might not have heard about it, but it's what the blockchain infrastructure, what the real big financial institutions are using. So we're talking about like HSBC, and this experience for them really shaped how they think about infra, because our founders were able to see up close that, what banks and institutions actually need. They need things like privacy, compliance controls, and real security that holds up under pressure. So for them, that's what really led to 10. It's basically the evolution of those kind of same principles and core ideas. So, as time goes on, I think 10, we definitely see ourselves moving more into that world. Because, for enterprises, what we're talking about, whether it's games with hidden logic or private DeFi for enterprises, this mirrors what R3 Corda was doing. They built a private permission systems for banks, and 10 itself keeps that confidentiality, but brings it into a more composable layer 2. So it's the same ideas. And, obviously now we have a lot of really fun use cases with House of Time, but, as time goes on, definitely that's where we see 10 heading. So yeah, great question, Ate.
Cool. So maybe let me first explain how Kuki Algo is working, more or less. So obviously it's taking into consideration metrics such as engagement and impressions and comments, all this stuff, but it could be quite surface level if we just focus on that one. So with the use of LLM, which is like a backbone of InfoFi right now, we can also evaluate the content qualitatively. So, for example, there are 3 metrics that I think are especially interesting. So the first one is relevance. So of course, like for example, your description of 10 protocol is very relevant to what actually 10 is. If someone said that 10 is a perpdex, that's not relevant at all. It maybe allows to create a perpdex, but it's not the perpdex itself. So the relevance score would be way lower. Then, yeah, let me take a look at my notes. Yeah, loyalty. So, of course, there are more and more people joining 10, and talking about 10. But we also want to reward people that created content about 10 before it was cool, so to say. So we can see in the past interactions historically that certain creators were shooting and promoting 10 way before the campaign, or just from its very beginning. So that also influences the amount of snaps that each content creator actually gets. And then the last one is creativity. So yeah, of course we can copy some docs materials, then put it into LLM, and something will come up. But that's not very creative. So whenever someone, for example, creates an analogy, so what 10 is, but in a really nice metaphor, that's definitely more creative. Or if someone creates a meme for the first time, then it's more creative as well. So they should get more points. And there are like tens of different factors that impact at the end of the day how many snaps content creators get. So yeah, I just wanted to explain a bit to your audience of how the algo works behind the curtains.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing. That's super interesting because yeah, a lot of people, they only see the leaderboard, the points, but they don't really get to a chance to really understand how this actually works. What would you say in terms of content itself? Could you explain maybe a little bit about how snapping really works? What would you say, or when you're snapping, or the main things that the algorithm really looks for? Like, what is considered good content, would you say?
So ideally, it checks the three boxes that I mentioned, so it's relevant. The content creator was loyal from the beginnings, and it's creative. Of course, then there are different types of content. One may be super short, 1 or 2 sentences. The other one may be a very long article. So it also depends on which people interact with this content. If Vitalik Buterin started to engage with your article, and there is a whole discussion, and there are different comments, and then CZ comes up and he also comments, then even though the impressions may be low or it may not have been that creative, you are getting quite a huge boost. So there's another component of smart followers and smart engagement, and the circle that you are surrounded with. And of course, all these also not only are relevant when it comes to the algorithm and who should get rewarded, but also prevent the bots coming in and pretty much flood the whole crypto Twitter and cookie.fun. And of course, like we can talk about this one, we see the problem, but there are more and more tools that we are employing to tackle that.
Yeah, interesting. And then on the flip side of that, because we engage a lot with our community and we get to hear about their experiences, with the campaign itself. What would you say is considered, if you can say, like bad content or content that won't be rewarded? Because like there might be people who have been snapping a lot and feel as though they maybe should have earned more rewards, but maybe they're not. Maybe they are producing content that isn't so highly valued in the algorithm. So what would you say are things to maybe avoid, or the people who maybe are getting frustrated at the algorithm because their strategy on approaching it is just not really right, whether it's I don't know, using too much AI, low effort content, what sort of things would you say to those snappers?
Yeah, so definitely like automatic replies that bring nothing to the table. I think it's actually more damaging to the reputation than it's beneficial. And yeah, be authentic, I guess. If you like NFTs or you like gaming, there are projects that fit their profile on Cookie.fun rather than encrypted blockchains, right? But if someone is into TEs and MCPs and blockchain infra and stuff like that, they should definitely go to 10 protocol and start digging and start educating their audiences on what it is and what benefit it brings. So I get, yeah, do not use so much AI. I think humans are superbly creative and convincing when it comes to copywriting, and to be in line with what you're actually interested in.
Sure, and that makes sense. And I think that's why for us, when we decided to go with this campaign, we were able to see from following and watching other campaigns that had taken part that authenticity was rewarded, and that's the most important part, because nobody really gains from people just posting inauthentic, repetitive tweets. It just floods your timeline with slop. So yeah, that's super important for us. Are you able to maybe demonstrate or display any sort of examples of tweets or things that you think are really of like high value that you could show as an example? I have some that I've also found from 10, if not. But yeah, is there any way you
Yeah.
any examples?
I can search for those really quickly. So maybe in the meantime you can
Sure.
and
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to show you guys some of the recent snaps that the 10 team have really enjoyed. Not just because they have performed well necessarily, but because they captured the vibe, explained the mission of 10 clearly, or just brought a new perspective. So these are some great references. I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a second. One sec. I'm having a small issue. Okay, yeah, I think I got it. So yeah, my screen should show soon, but yeah, I just wanted to be able to show you guys some of the examples that we've seen that have really impressed us. So yeah, the first one here, it actually kind of ties into what I was saying before. So yeah, KXBT, who I hope you're watching this, wrote a really interesting, post about the sort of the background of the team of 10. So as I mentioned before, our founding team actually built Coda at R3, which is, the blockchain infra used by these huge financial institutions. And a lot of people, hadn't really picked up on that. But this was a really great, tweet where it really showed and explained the sort of experience that shaped the way our team thought about infrastructure and led to 10. Also, if you're interested, Case recently wrote a thread that just came out today telling the full story of from working at UBS and then Credit Suisse to building R3 and now launching 10. So that's something you guys should really, if you're snapping, really dig into, because there's a lot of unexplored lore. So definitely check that out. And then some other tweets that I think really stood out are this one, from Zena, which sort of talks about some of the strongest posts aren't always the most technical. They're saying what everyone's thinking, but haven't quite articulated yet. So this one, I think got a lot of engagement and got reposted a lot because it felt like a thesis, and it turns out, it turns 10 into this bigger narrative. And yeah, some other interesting tweets. Yeah, most layer 2s. So yeah, this one touches on a really interesting observation, which is, every time someone uses a layer 2, makes a trade, plays a game, whatever, they pay gas, and this gas goes to the sequencer. And we do it differently. We share a sequence of revenue with the community. So if you're driving value, if you're bringing users, you get rewarded for it. And again, there's another article on this which I encourage everyone to check out. But yeah, these are some of the tweets that one from Ziga too, who is one of our devs. He's been posting a lot of really insightful things about 10 that I also encourage people to take a look at, comparing Ethereum and how 10 lets you build apps on this that run in private, and the links between that, and all the different use cases that stem from that. Just like Ethereum changed how money could make it programmable, 10 is now doing the same, but just for privacy. So really enjoyed these. And some other shout outs I would like to give is recently I discovered that people had started engaging with video content too, which is super cool to see. I think video content is a really good alpha for anyone who would be open to sharing video content. I think it's a really good way to get your point across, talk about things in a new way, and really engage people. So I can share this video too. I can show you guys this video too, which I thought was really cool. It's from Queensley21. So quick shout out here. She basically explained how 10 ties gameplay to real on-chain rewards and sort of frame TEs as the tech that makes this possible, which is really, was explained really simply, and it spoke literally. So that kind of thing makes a really big difference. And you don't need to have, really fancy editing or long intros. You can just talk directly. So if you're stopping now and you want to level up, I would also encourage people to think about other formats. If you've been writing a lot, maybe look at videos, pictures, anything that you think will really get your point across. I definitely encourage that. But yeah, Anthony, if you have time, it would be great if we could hear a little bit from you about, just more about if you could show some good content, or demonstrate more about how people could get rewarded from those stops through high value.
Sure. Yeah, I'm trying to share the screen. It's kind of pending. I think either you. Oh yeah, here we go. Let me zoom in maybe. So the first one, like I literally, we're now looking for the posts. So it may look a little bit, the font may be a little bit too small, but I think if someone is really deep into TE, if they are interested, I think they will find it, quite useful, because it's like a nice infographics on how the protocol actually works. There's one that's more fun, but it has this really nice touch with 10 out of 10, speed and safety, bullish on 10, 10 out of 10. So I find it quite creative and nice. Yeah, and the last one, I will be sharing my account, if you don't mind, is this one. So I put it, you mentioned July 10th. So I got from you once we met in Cannes, I got the T-shirt with 10. So it's like, I think a really nice touch for your team. So yeah, I found these three in like a couple of minutes, but I think that, one is educative, the other one is more creative, and then there's like, a real picture showing real people interacting with 10.
Yeah, no, and that's great. And I think it's really important to show the diversity. There's not just one way to snap or be earn good snaps. Like, it can be fun, it can be creative, and it can also be, really insightful and technical too. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about what makes a good snap, these are some benchmarks. Not just because they are the most viral or most polished, but just because they either educate or reframe or just get it. Now I would like to touch on a little bit about our timelines and the rewards and some milestones, and then we can get more into a Q&A, where if you guys have questions about snaps or scoring strategy, or just want feedback on your content too, feel free to think of those in the meantime. But I just like to touch on some timelines for us. So yeah, as I mentioned, this is the last part of the final chapter, the stuff done. So this is, the biggest one yet, and we're right in the middle of it. So now is really the last chance to get on the map before everything goes live. So yeah, I would first of all just say every snap counts more now, more attention, visibility. If you're ranking high, try to keep getting up there. And if you're not, then, try to use this call as a chance to learn more about your strategy. But yeah, the reward pool is pretty good. And just to touch on again about the rewards, the total prize pool is 360K in 10 tokens, and that will go to the top 1,000 creators that gets distributed to TGE. So with the 50% unlock at launch and the rest vesting over 6 months. So yeah, that's set to give more long-term upside to real contributors, not just short-term spammers. And yeah, if you've been showing up consistently with good content, this is designed for you. As Anthony kind of mentioned, the cookie system is tracking things in real time. So keep checking the leaderboard, check your snap history, and just keep going. One post can really bump you up fast if it's if it's good, if the algorithm enjoys it, and you're not posting slop. But yeah, and
By the
then
way, Liam, when it comes to like next big announcement, so I saw on your feed today, like this quote tweet of the Nozomi and Legion. So we at Cookie Free, obviously we are super close with Legion, like with the launch of Attention Capital Markets. Do you want to say something, or is it still a mystery that you want to keep?
Yeah. I think the thing tomorrow, I think all of the community is going to have all of the details they need to know about that. But yeah, what I would say is keep an eye on our Twitter, maybe turn the notifications on. And because we do have a major milestone dropping tomorrow, I can't say too much yet. But if you're a snapper and if you're, if you're a part of the Titan community, you will want to be on X when this hits. So yeah, definitely keep notifications on there. But yeah, that's really one of the biggest announcements coming up very, very soon. So yeah, get ready for tomorrow. But yeah, I think now is probably the time we can maybe get into some questions about our snaps and anything cookie related, 10 related. Feel free to pump them our way, and we'd be happy to answer them. Yeah, and in the mean, cookie is the best. Anthony, do you have a response to
that? I could just agree.
Agree. Okay. I agree too. I mean, I think, like I said, I think for us, it was really just about, encouraging and rewarding people who were posting authentic things. And there are other, like InfoFi people out there, projects out there, but a lot of them don't do this, is what I've noticed. So yeah, I agree.
I can see one question. Okay, and I had another one in mind, but we can go for this one first.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, like the cookie campaign, the rewards are going to be distributed at TGE and 50% unlocked immediately. So yeah, this campaign is really just leading up to all of our exciting TGE and going live. And yeah, get ready. Please feel free to post any other questions in the I think I can see a question here. There's actually one from I'll answer Anthony's here, who just sent to me directly. Apart from privacy, what's the other things that 10 is building? I would say this. I would say like privacy is the sort of foundation of 10. I mean, 10 is like I sort of we're building this encrypted infra that enables all of these new use cases to open up. And the foundation of that really comes from privacy. But privacy itself is just the core. So it's really about opening up all of these new use cases, like I mentioned, things like building, of course, our House of 10 is a great example, but if you're building, a trading bot that wants to keep some things hidden, but execute live trades, or have a DAO that can vote in secret, or an auction, like anything that you want to use encryption, 10 opens the doors for. So privacy is like the foundation, but we are really just opening up new categories of apps that weren't possible before. And what I would say also is, if you guys have suggestions, like the community have suggestions about things that you think could be built on 10, I think that's a really great option for a tweet, for certain snaps. If you have some creative ways you think, things that could be built on 10 that haven't been built before, or anything like that, or maybe you even try, like, that would be a really great option for to earn some snaps. And with regards to Mosa, who asked any keywords to use, especially for writers, actually, this is a great chance to show you guys our content hub, because if you guys have been following our Twitter, you will see that we posted a content hub, which I'm going to share on my screen in a second. Sorry, it takes me some. I'm old now. Let me, this. So this is our, it should show up in a second. Can everyone still hear me? Oh.
We can hear you, Liam. I mean, at least me.
So it touches on all of the core things that you should touch on in order to earn snaps. So as you can see here, in the top part, we go through, the sort of problem, and this touches on why 10 really exists. So, for crypto to reach everyone and become mainstream, we need new use cases on chain. But the reality is, as we've seen, these transparent blockchains kill a lot of these applications. So this takes you through the whole journey of how we became 10, like how we understood the value of bringing encrypted execution, and what that opens up. You'll also get to see the how our tech allows for that. The importance of TEEs being, this core part of achieving this encryption, as well as information about the team. I touched on before about our team coming from R3 Corda, and this content help will give you the bullets, and then it gives you the chance to really dig in and do some research on your own and look through our articles and things like this. So the articles are also all linked here. Some examples of articles that you can click on, and I would encourage you to really read them, rather than like maybe just summarize them or take out quotes from them. If you really read them and interpret it yourself, that's really helpful. There's also some really good content hooks. So you'll get to see things that we are constantly yapping about on our Twitter, and how we became this home to iGaming, but also a range of other use cases at the same time. But importantly, again, don't copy them, just try to use them as inspiration, because unfortunately that won't get you snaps. And there's some tech explainers. More of those will be coming out too. I know our people on the dev side, like Ziga, are starting to become more active on X2, so expect more content there. And then, some really interesting sort of like information from AI and tech people, meme creators. You get to see some of our videos. Again, please, you could even use these videos to make your own videos, or, just record a video of yourself, but video content, anything like that is really encouraged. And I think that if you haven't already been using this content hub, then you're definitely doing yourself a disservice. And this is just all of the use cases that we open up for, some of the more fun on the fun side, gaming and entertainment, and then some, on the enterprise side, RWA, et cetera, et cetera. So definitely guys, dig into this. There's a lot of information here, and and also just feel free to at us about anything. So yeah, that's what I would say there. And we have a question from Bullish Eye. Can Cookie count AI video as an original content? Maybe Anthony, you'd be better at answering this than me. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. I never thought of it. So I don't know, to be honest. I don't want to, make up some answer. But yeah, I'll ask the team and pass it to the 10, and maybe you can then inform it on your Discord or something like this. But yeah, I don't know the answer to this one, to be honest.
But I mean, AI, for example, if someone posts like AI generated imagery, that is acceptable, right? I mean, it's not like you don't earn snaps from it. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, we can detect images. I'm just wondering how it is for video and how exactly we do it. So yeah, I need to ask the team for this one.
Okay, sure. Yeah, cool. So yeah, until then, just record videos of yourself. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Any other questions? Now's your chance, guys, to learn as much as you can to earn as many snaps. Or maybe what would be fun if anyone volunteers, if you want to share your X and we can look at someone's X and maybe give some tips on how they could improve their snap score. If anyone wants, maybe the first one to do it, feel free. Or if you don't want to be put on the spot, that is also understandable.
GMG and Voitas.
I can see. Oh, okay. Anthony, would you be okay with doing this? Like taking a look at someone's X and maybe giving them just some subtle hints of how they could improve snaps? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. We can do one or two.
Okay. Let's do it. I think this will be fun. Okay, we're gonna go to Atolia. How do I present again? Okay, one second. I'm gonna share my screen. So yes, Atolia, and okay, it will show up now. Yeah, cool. And yeah, because you volunteered, you get a follow back. Cool. Okay, so yeah, I can see you've definitely been super active. I've definitely seen you on Twitter. Yapping about 10, snapping about 10. So at a first glance, I mean, I'm not the cookie expert, but at a first glance, it's a lot of retweets. Okay, no, there's also a lot of very informative posts here. Yeah, this is very interesting. I would say this is great, but put your own personal spin on it because it reads more like something that could from our articles maybe, but still I think it's really informative and great too. Oh, it says 10 execution. What did it say? 10 trusted execution network. Oh, this is also not. I would first glance you would encourage Tola to.
So you're saying
do
that
more of or do less of?
So you're saying that it's quite repetitive, right?
Yeah, maybe just could be a little bit more personalized, perhaps, and more your.
Liam, we can't hear you. I just confirmed it also on the private show.
I don't know how I muted. I don't know where I cut off, but yeah, I was just saying.
It's like literally 15 seconds ago.
Okay. Yeah, I was just saying, definitely more personalized content I think would really help boost Tola, but it's great to see you snapping about 10. And yeah, everyone watching this definitely interact with Tola's content. I think that will help too. Yeah, keep snapping. Okay. So any other questions or anyone else before we wrap up? Feel free, now is your chance. Okay, we can take a look at one more account, NeuralNet. This sounds familiar. Okay, present. Okay. Hey, NeuralNet. Emmy, I just followed you back too. Congrats. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely very active talking about 10. That's great. Again, it's a lot of retweets, which is cool, but if someone clicks on your page, then they're not going to hear your voice until they scroll down a bit. At its heart, 10 is a permanently decentralized computer. No single entity controls it. Oh, yeah.
Who has such a bad formatting?
Yeah.
I mean, no one actually reads this block of content, so I would definitely chop it up a bit.
Yeah, I would say also AI imagery is cool. At a first glance, I wouldn't know this, like how it really links, right? I mean, I just see an old guy with a present. So I think it'd be cool if you had like an image that was really 10 centric. But yeah, also maybe break up the content a little bit more, because it's kind of hard to, because yeah, people also have really short attention spans, right? So they just glance and get a gist of what you're saying. They don't really dig in. Wow, people are really making all kinds of art. That's cool. Cool. Anthony, actually, I have a question. Like when people, I notice a lot of people when they talk about 10, they tag Kuki too. Is that encouraged? Like, would you encourage people to tag Kuki, or they don't need to really do that when they're snapping about 10?
I like the meme just above. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah,
Oh.
I like the story. I'm missing only one piece. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's yours. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course it helps for like because we are very active on Twitter as well. Like our social media team is engaging with as many posts as possible. So I'm not saying like it boosts your content tremendously, but there might be a bigger chance of us interacting with your content.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but I think Emmy, yeah, there's definitely you're definitely snapping a lot about 10, but yeah, maybe just breaking up your content more. And yeah, I would say pay attention to the content hub that I touched on. I think that would really help you, because maybe some of the wording could be more in line with how other people are talking about 10, and they might engage more from it. So definitely that would be another thing I would say. But yeah, and I noticed people are speaking in different languages. That's interesting. Cool. Very cool. Okay. So yeah, I think if there aren't any more questions popping up, we can start to wrap up this 10 out of 10 call. But yeah, before we close out, I would just say to everyone, a reminder that the most important thing you can do after this call is actually snap. So if you've been lurking or waiting for the right time, now is the time. You've seen how you've heard from Anthony about how the platform works and about how scoring happens and what kind of content lands. So just go, if you haven't already, start posting and start testing what works for you. Pay a lot of attention to the content hub. It could be a meme, a post, a thread. But remember that, yeah, every snap will get tracked, and use the keywords, but use what feels natural to you. Put things in your own words too. because this is really just about rewarding creativity and authenticity, and you don't need a huge following to stand out. So if you've been following 10, you already have a huge edge because you know more about 10. And if you haven't, you can learn a lot. We have a lot of really great articles from Rosie and from the 10 team too. And there's a lot of rewards here at the end. So there's a lot that you can really gain from this. Like I said, the top 1,000 snappers will be rewarded. And the only other thing I would want to mention is keep your eyes on our timeline, because as Anthony hinted, tomorrow we drop some alpha. We're teasing something. We start teasing something, and it ties directly into what we've been building. So it's going to generate a lot of attention and a lot of potential for earning snaps. So I would say keep snapping. That's my last word of advice. Anthony, anything from you?
Snapping. No, it's all good. I attach to the same ones. Keep snapping.
Amazing. Okay, well, keep snapping, everyone. Stay 10 out of 10, and we will see you on the next 10 out of 10 snap call. Or just
Thanks,
call.
Liam.
Thanks, Anthony. Thanks so much. See you guys.
Bye.